What if everything you thought you knew about one of basketball's most dominant figures was a carefully constructed lie? For years, Liz Cambage, a towering force in the WNBA, seemed to vanish from the spotlight, her exit shrouded in whispers of controversy, and a career seemingly derailed by her own actions. But she's just shattered that silence, unleashing a bombshell that doesn't just rewrite her story, it exposes the WNBA's deepest secrets and the shocking lengths they allegedly went to protect another star. Was Liz's sudden departure a retirement, or was it a calculated sacrifice orchestrated to shield Brittney Griner from uncomfortable truths? Prepare yourself, because the narrative you've been fed is about to crumble. For years, the official story painted a clear picture. Liz Cambage's career was over, marred by an alleged incident with the Nigerian national team and a controversial image deemed too damaging for team optics. This was the narrative we were all led to believe, the convenient excuse for her sudden absence from the WNBA courts. However, Liz recently tore down that carefully crafted facade during an explosive interview with Taylor Rooks for Bleacher Reports. What she revealed wasn't a humble admission of personal fault, but a jaw-dropping accusation. She wasn't just too controversial. She was deliberately kicked out of the WNBA, all to protect Brittney Griner. If that sounds like something ripped from a conspiracy thriller, you're not wrong, because the layers of deception run far deeper than anyone imagined. Remember the uproar during the 2021 pre-Olympic scrimmage? Liz Cambage became a national talking point, accused of hurling racial slurs like monkeys at Nigerian players, a narrative that quickly went viral across sports platforms. But according to Liz, that's not what happened at all. She vehemently denies using any racial slurs, asserting she is pro-black, and such language is entirely out of character for her. In fact, she's practically begged for the tapes of the incident to be leaked, claiming they'd vindicate her. And here's where things get interesting. People genuinely invested in the truth have unearthed videos from that very game, and they paint a very different picture. It wasn't a one-sided attack by Liz. It looked like a regular, heated game with players going at each other. The question then becomes, if the tapes exist and show something different, why was the specific, damning version of events pushed so aggressively? It screams of a deliberate campaign to make Liz look irredeemable and justify a predetermined outcome. This incident wasn't just blown out of proportion, it appears it was weaponized. The Nigerian team incident wasn't an isolated event, it was seemingly part of a larger, more insidious pattern. Years before, Liz had already been facing a tough time, experiencing passive-aggressive treatment and disrespect from certain players and even team executives. But the full extent of this alleged targeting came into sharp focus when she spoke out about her contract with the Los Angeles Sparks in 2022. She signed a seemingly lucrative deal, reportedly including a $170,000 salary, a car, paid rent, and other expenses, the kind of perks that could transform a player's life. However, she was sold a Hollywood lie. These benefits, it turned out, fell under what the WNBA mysteriously deemed impermissible benefits, meaning Liz wouldn't receive any of them. As if that wasn't a crushing blow, she claimed she endured horrendous treatment from both staff and other players, pushing her to rock bottom. Despite repeated complaints to general managers, coaches, and even ownership, her pleas were consistently ignored and dismissed. The environment became so toxic that she was forced to break her contract mid-season, simply to escape. Yet, here's the unsettling part. While Liz was denied these benefits and subjected to alleged mistreatment, other players on the same team were reportedly receiving far more lavish perks. This stark disparity wasn't just unfair. It made Liz feel like she was being deliberately singled out, villainized for no apparent reason. It took years for the pieces to finally click into place, for Liz to understand the true motives behind the continuous mistreatment. She realized that all those passive-aggressive slights, the constant dismissals of her complaints, the subtle insults from other players, it was all a calculated strategy. The goal? To push Liz to her breaking point, to make her act crazy in public, providing the perfect, seemingly organic excuse to boot her from the WNBA. But why go through such elaborate lengths to remove one of their most talented players? Because, according to Liz, it was all to protect Brittney Griner. This revelation shifts the entire narrative from a personal downfall to a sprawling conspiracy, raising the chilling question: Why was Brittney Griner so critically important that the WNBA was willing to sacrifice Liz Cambage, risking everything in the process? The whispers about Brittney Griner's identity and alleged physical advantages aren't new. For months, fans have questioned her physical appearance, aggressive playing style, and other traits that seem to set her apart from the average female basketball player. Despite mandatory tests for all players, calls for a full-scale investigation into players with unfair physical advantages, especially those like Brittney, have seemingly fallen on deaf ears within the WNBA. This persistent lack of action has only fueled speculation that the league is deliberately hiding facts to protect her. The WNBA, keen on projecting a progressive image, has embraced woke policies, particularly concerning trans and queer athletes. While commendable on the surface, this stance has drawn criticism from some biological female players, like two-time national champion Val Whiting, who argue they are being sidelined. She explicitly stated that trans women do not belong in women's sports. It's not fair nor safe for biological women. This sentiment highlights a growing concern that inclusivity is coming at the expense of fair play for biological women. The alleged double standards become glaringly obvious when you consider how Brittney Griner appears to get a pass for actions that would obliterate other players' careers. How else can you explain Brittney allegedly calling Caitlin Clark a slur in front of a global audience with no investigation, no apology, not even a slap on the wrist? All we got was a clip of Brittney denying what thousands witnessed in real time. If the roles were reversed, the league would have undoubtedly thrown Caitlin Clark to the media wolves, stripping her of her career. This is precisely what allegedly happened to Liz Cambage after the Nigerian basketball team incident. Despite her being visibly attacked on camera and her impassioned denials, her career was essentially ruined. Fans immediately picked up on this stark disparity, with one person tweeting, "They kicked Liz Cambage and Kennedy Carter out the league for some of these types of things they letting old girl get away with." It's becoming increasingly clear that the only people who truly wanted Liz Cambage out of the WNBA were those desperate to conceal their own secrets, even if it meant sacrificing a talented athlete. The perception that Liz Cambage is simply problematic has been meticulously cultivated, but it crumbles under scrutiny. Yes, she's moved between 12 different teams since being drafted in 2011, but many other female basketball players have similarly varied careers without facing the same public condemnation. The backlash Liz receives often dwarfs that faced by players who have committed far more serious offenses. Fans are quick to point out the baffling double standard. Liz is relentlessly criticized for perceived problematic behavior, while Brittney Griner, who was convicted and jailed for carrying and using substances, seems to consistently escape severe consequences and even enjoys a hero's welcome. For many, this is the ultimate proof that Liz was unequivocally set up, a sacrificial lamb for the WNBA's desperate need to protect Brittney Griner. The lingering question remains, how did the WNBA manage to get away with this alleged manipulation for so long, orchestrating Liz's downfall without anyone asking serious questions until now? But the silence is broken, and the questions are finally being asked. Public sentiment is shifting, and fans are clamoring for Liz Cambage's return, recognizing the electrifying tension and unique presence she brings to the court. As one fan aptly put it, "Where's Liz Cambage when you need her? The WNBA needs her now more than ever." Another chimed in, "Could you imagine Liz Cambage on a team in today's WNBA landscape? New fans would not be ready." This overwhelming desire for her comeback isn't just about basketball, it's a call for justice. And if Liz's recent statements are any indication, she isn't planning a quiet return. She'll be coming back with a vengeance, armed with receipts and ready to expose everyone who played a hand in allegedly ruining her career to protect their secrets. If her plan is already in motion, then prepare for a seismic shift in the WNBA landscape, because heads are about to roll, and the truth, this time, won't be buried. The league's deepest secrets are about to be laid bare, and it will turn the entire WNBA on its head.